Good evening and welcome to Global Lens on Apna Watan TV. I am Saadia Afzaal. The soil of Afghanistan, once a neighbor with whom we might have hoped for peace, is now a launching ground for attacks on our very homeland. The threat is dire and the cost is unbearably steep. We must begin with the central betrayal. Afghan soil is being used by Taliban terrorists as a staging ground to strike Pakistan. Under the guise of safe havens, sanctuaries have been allowed, whether by will or by negligence, to proliferate along the border regions. These sanctuaries serve as training camps, arms depot, command centers, and infiltration routes. From these bases, militants of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, Fitna al-Khawarij, and allied groups coordinate strikes, execute infiltration missions, and dispatch suicide attackers into Pakistani territory. Our people in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, and the tribal belt bear the brunt of this existential threat. Each attack we suffer is born in those foreign hills and on that very land. In recent years, the frequency and brutality of cross-border terrorism has escalated alarmingly. Terrorist cells cross under cover of darkness, use border outposts of the Afghan Taliban, or move through porous areas with little challenge. In many instances, these militants are supported with logical assistance, intelligence, or safe transit routes inside Afghanistan. Consider just a few incidents. On June 28, 2025, a suicide bomber drove an explosive-laden vehicle into a Pakistani military convoy near Mirali, killing 16 soldiers and injuring many others. In Orakzai, a raid on a suspected TTP hideout cost us 11 soldiers, with 19 militants killed. In the Yob border area, security forces recently eliminated 14 Indian-sponsored terrorists trying to infiltrate from Afghanistan. And just months ago, 30 militants were killed in North Waziristan in confrontation along the border front. Recently, during overnight clashes along the border, October 11 and 12, 2025, 23 of our soldiers were martyred and 29 wounded, while more than 200 militants were neutralized in retaliatory strikes. These are not isolated episodes. They compose a pattern. Cross-border terrorism is intensifying, underwritten by hostile networks operating from Afghan territory. Every day, Pakistani soldiers stand guard on that borderline. Every day, they face ambush, sniper fire, bombers, and infiltration. Every other day, a family receives a message saying your son has embraced martyrdom. We mourn them, we salute them. They are the first line of defense of our nation. In the recent border clash, 23 of our brave soldiers were martyred. That figure, 23, is not just a statistic. It is 23 shattered families, 23 dreams extinguished, 23 lives given so that others might live. From Quetta to Yob, from North Waziristan to Kurram, our soldiers take fire every day. They know the risks, yet they stand firm. Their sacrifice must not go unanswered. Now let's talk about a harsh reality. India's role in funding, arming, or propping up anti-Pakistan terror proxies. Pakistan's military and government have repeatedly asserted that among the militant groups operating from Afghan territory are Fitna of Hindustan, Fitna al-Khawarij, and groups of Indian backing. The timing of aggressive border attacks often coincides with high-level visits between Afghanistan and India, or announcements of deeper ties between them. Many in Pakistan perceive this as coordination, that India is using the Afghan Taliban regime or elements within it to promote destabilization. Whether this is direct funding, channeling arms or intelligence, or using proxies, the pattern cannot be ignored. The surge in cross-border terrorism, the sophistication of attacks, and the timing of escalation all strongly suggest external sponsorship. Let's talk about the most recent confrontation, one fought in the border zones, with heavy casualties and high stakes. On the night between October 11 and 12, 2025, militants based in Afghanistan launched coordinated raids and gunfire attacks across multiple border sectors, targeting Pakistani posts. According to the ISPR, 23 Pakistani soldiers were martyred, 29 wounded, and over 200 militants were neutralized in Pakistan's counter-strike. The Pakistani military executed precision strikes, physical raids into militant posts across the border, and incapacitated 21 hostile positions. They destroyed camps, command centers, support networks, and outposts deep in Afghan territory. The structural damage to Taliban infrastructure was extensive. Pakistan's message is clear. When the sanctity of our territory is violated, we will respond, not with passive diplomacy alone, but with force, calculated strikes, and resolute defense. We do this reluctantly and always insisting that civilian harm be minimized, but with full resolve. And perhaps the most bitter irony of all, this wave of violence, this storm of blood, this unprovoked aggression is unfolding at the very same moment when the Afghan Taliban's foreign minister is on an official visit to India. Yes, while our soldiers are being martyred on the border, while cross-border infiltrators target our posts, while we mourn the loss of our brave sons, the so-called government in Kabul is sitting in New Delhi, shaking hands with Indian officials, aligning itself politically, diplomatically, and perhaps militarily with Pakistan's arch rival. Kabul has chosen its partner, not peace with Pakistan, but partnership with those who fund, fuel, and shelter anti-Pakistan elements. While Afghan territory is used to launch attacks, its leaders are celebrating their closeness with the very state which is arming the terrorists. This is not diplomacy. This is complicity. This is not a coincidence. This is a pattern, a dangerous alignment, an unholy alliance of Kabul and New Delhi, stitched together on the backs of our martyrs. Let there be no mistake. Pakistan sees this. Pakistan understands this. And Pakistan will never forget this. This is Saadia Afzaal for Apna Watan TV.
You are watching Apna Watan.